He just returned from NOLA Motorsports Racecourse in Avondale, Louisiana, where he went 3 for 3, earning 3 second-place podium finishes in the USF 2000 IndyCar Championship Racing Series. Evagoras Papasavvas joins us once again as we track his IndyCar racing journey throughout the 2024 racing season. His consistent performance during the 3-race weekend at NOLA kept him solidly in second place in the driver championship point standings while closing the gap on current leader Max Garcia. He is the only USF 2000 driver to start the 2024 racing season with podium finishes in all 5 races, 4 seconds and 1/3. Hello everybody, I'm Chuck Gibson, and this is a special sports presentation of Loveland Beacon Talks. Let's get right to Evagoras with me on the phone right now. Welcome, Evagoras Papasavvas. Congratulations on a great race weekend. How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great.
And I know just offline here a second ago, we were both sharing that the allergy stuff is getting us. So for the people listening, if we sound a little hoarse or whatever today, blame the allergens and the pollens and whatever else is up in the air. But hey, it's a pleasure to have you back here on Loveland Beacon Talks Sports Special. We're going to have to change the name of this to, Following Evagoras Papasavvas Racing.
Yeah, just make it its own series.
Because that's what we're going to do. As long as it's good with you, all season long, we're going to follow you. As close to the race finishes as we can. Typically going to be on maybe the Monday after the weekend or whatever. But EP Racing, following EP Racing. So here we go.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to tell the people real quick for the listeners. When I said Evagoras, what a great racing weekend. For you guys listening right now, P1 in race 1 on Saturday, P2 in race 1 on Saturday, P2 in race number 2 on Sunday, and P2 in race number 3 on Sunday. What great results for you, Evagoras.
Yeah, really good results in the end. It's both satisfying and frustrating at the same time because it's satisfying because you're at the top consistently, and that's what wins championships, and that's what I'm going after. But it's also frustrating because I got second every single race, and I was so close every race. But yeah, it's a little bit of both. But I think overall, feeling pretty positive. Good points haul. Picked up a lot of good points for the championship. So yeah, pretty happy with my results.
And let's talk about that real quick because, those are the race results. But so 5 races so far in the 2024 season and 4 P2 finishes, 1 P3 finish, and currently standing second in the Driver Championship Series, just 16 points off the lead from, of course, an amazing start to the season for your competitor, your opposition, Max Garcia, with taking P1 in the first 3 races. But, and so, just 16 points off the lead, and what a great start overall after the first 2 weekends of racing.
Yeah, really good start, for sure. I think, very good consistency. 5 races, 5 podiums. Like I said, that's the consistency that wins championships. And, I think I was talking about this with my dad when we were driving to the airport. Out of, all of the people that were racing there in my series, I came back at the end of the weekend. I came back with the most points out of everyone. Just finishing second every race. Some drivers finish first and then they finish 4th or 3rd or something. So for me, just to finish second every single race, good consistency, then I think I brought back the most points out of everyone that I've been racing against. So yeah, that was really, really good for the championship.
You know what, and that's a great point, Evagoras, and you know what, that is a point that is not lost on the officials of this USF 2000 series because and maybe some of the people that are listening now were even watching the race, as was I, the final race, race number 3 on, the second race Sunday, and listening to your USF 2000 race announcer, and he was all over that. He was all over the fact that your consistency has been outstanding. This is exactly what a team looks for in a driver. And it was all about Evagoras Papasavvas. And you make a great point. Some of the guys will get those P1s, but that consistency, 5 races, 5 podiums, 4 of those P2s, 1 of those a P3. And now I'm going to get to a little controversial part. We were texting yesterday between the second race and the third race, and you saw my, I know you saw my text when I said, hey, didn't get to, I saw the result of race 2, but I hadn't watched it yet. Well, I've watched it now.
Yeah.
And that P2 was a great finish. The other thing is, I was texting with your dad, Evagoras, and so he gave me a clue before I watched it to look for something, because he said there was a little concern on that restart. So I'm not going to tell the people. I want you to tell us, from your viewpoint, exactly what the heck happened, because you were leading that race, coming out of a yellow, going back to green. What happened?
Yeah, so, I was leading the race. I was pulling away from the cars behind, so everything was all good. I was putting in good laps. The car felt great, pulling away from everyone behind. And then I had, and then the yellow came out, so everyone got bunched up back together behind the safety car. And then once we went going again, the green flag, I believe it was the driver in P5 of Sam Corey, who I believe, me personally, jumped the restart, went earlier than the leader, who was me, and then passed all of the drivers in front of him, his 2 teammates, Hudson Schwartz, Max Garcia, and then also passed me as well in the process. So, a little bit controversial, because he ended up getting the win in the end, and it's tough, especially for me. It's frustrating because, I felt like I should have won, but that's just the way things go sometimes. But I mean, still second place, good finish, good points haul. Obviously would have liked that win, as I've been working so hard for it, but it is what it is, and we move on to IMS. So.
Well, let me ask you this, and just a side note. Have you watched the video of it?
I have, yes. Yeah. I have watched the video. My mom was recording the restart as well, so I even watched that as well. I just watched a bunch of things going on, and I watched a bunch of things going on, and a lot of the people that I've talked to said that it was a jump start, but that's okay. They didn't end up penalizing him in the end, which is unfortunate for me, but sometimes that's just how things go, and you have to deal with it. So
yeah. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate, your response to the situation. A lot of people would take that as a more bitter pill. And obviously, there's 2 things. One, you didn't let it affect the way you drove out the rest of the race. And, you stayed in that 2 position and kept, at that point, I guess, fought off Garcia, who was 3rd behind you at that point in time. You didn't want to give that up. But at the same time, Evagoras, I can tell, put it this way. I'll say I can feel your frustration with that. Having watched it myself, I just feel like I can't believe the ruling didn't go against Sam Corey. It seems very clear that he jumped. So my next question comes from that. When they don't penalize, if you guys ask to have it looked into or whatever, did you guys get an explanation of why they did not penalize him, why they thought it was a clean restart versus because I don't see any angle or any view of it that doesn't show him, he passed 4 people before you moved on the green flag.
Yeah, so I talked to the officials after the race just to see their perspective and what happened, and in their eyes, it was close for sure. So like we didn't exactly understand, when exactly he, pressed the throttle and when the green flag was dropped. It was very, very close. So a lot of different people had a lot of different opinions, and that was one of the reasons why a penalty wasn't given.
I see.
So, it's unfortunate. It was like, too tight to call, because they don't want to make a mistake. So yeah, it ended up being what it was. And, like I said, I still finished second in that race, so good points. And then I finished second in the next race, race 3 after. So good results despite that happening.
Right. Without a doubt. Well, and again, that's why I said, the way you handled the situation, and, even just talking to me now and discussing it, goes a long way toward the maturity and, your positive response to it. And the fact that you came out again after that second race and did not let it affect your driving in race number 3. Again, having a great race and, again, taking P2 for, all 3 P2s over the course of the weekend and moving up that driver standings points chart there, drawing ever closer to Max Garcia, who had that. What do you think when Garcia takes the first 3 races? It's like, holy smokes, he is hot.
Yeah, he had some pretty good momentum after the two race wins in St. Petersburg, but and then obviously he carried that to the first race in New Orleans. But it's also very hard to keep consistency like that and keep winning every race.
Oh yeah.
So I knew that I was still in the fight, and obviously it's a very, 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 very beginning of the season. So a lot of things could change. So I wasn't really too worried about him, winning the first 3 races in a row or whatnot. I was fairly calm, relaxed, just kind of focusing on myself and make sure that I keep improving and the team keeps improving with the car and our understanding of the car. And just stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, so what for you, and that pretty well covers it. What for you are some of the takeaways from the 3 races this weekend? Again, like you said, continuing to learn, every race. That's going to be your whole career, continuing to learn every race, right?
Yeah. That's the thing in the sport. It's just always consistently learning and constantly learning. Every race, every lap, every corner. To just keep improving yourself and just becoming better and better. And that's not just in racing, it's in every sport out there. So yeah, that's really just the name of the game, to keep consistent, keep learning. And for me, really, it's just to focus on myself and make sure that I'm improving, the team's improving, like I said. And then that's when the results will come. So just, making sure that I'm doing the right things that my driver coaches tell me to do, and that the car's doing the right things and we understand the car, and just that connection between me and the car when we're out there on track, everything, just making sure that we understand that and everything's good. Then that's when the results start coming. So really just focused on myself right now in the beginning of the season, and probably for most of the season.
Oh, for sure. Well, I will tell you this. You're not the only person focused on Evagoras Papasavvas. It has been a treat, for me to be focused on your racing so far this season. But also, Evagoras, I actually joined in, the live streaming chat during the racing over the weekend. And you're getting some real respect. A lot of people are focused. I saw one comment during race 3 yesterday, and this guy apparently he's a huge fan, and he's all over that chat constantly. I'm not going to try to remember his name, but a great comment from him. He said, "Right now, the USF 2000 is the Pabsts and Papasavvas."
That's what it seems like so far. If we look at the results in St. Pete and also in NOLA, that most of the results is me and the 2 Paps drivers of Max Garcia and Sam Corey. So I feel like it's going to be like that for a majority of the season. And, like I said, just have to stay consistent, keep pushing, keep moving forward, keep working hard, no matter what happens, and then the results will come.
Perfect. Well, and I know, and of course, we aren't going to ignore Nico Christodoulou, since he got a nice P1 in that third race yesterday, and he's not a Pabst driver, so. I don't think he's a Pabst. I forget what he is now. But anyway, I don't want to ignore Nico. But this is the EP Racing show on Loveland Beacon Talk. So we're going to stick with Evagoras. Just another quick question from over the weekend. Were there any moments in any of the races, or multiple moments throughout the 3 races over the weekend, that really stood out for you, that felt great, or a special moment during the racing? Or, you tell me.
There was one event that happened in race 3 on the second to last lap. Once we got going after the restart, I made a really nice move on Max Taylor, who was at that point P2. It was right on the restart, and going into turn 3, he defended to the inside, and I kind of faked to the outside, like I was trying to, go around him on the outside. But then right before we started braking, I snuck all the way down to the inside, and I got him by sneaking around him. Nice. Just doing something that he didn't expect at that moment. So that was just like it was a really nice pass that I was able to perform there. That was really special as well, because that kind of racing stuff like that over the winter, me and my teammate Al Mori, who from the meet and greet, we both, we were on the sim like all the time, on the simulator all the time together. We were always just like battling each other and passing each other back, and just having fun. And a lot of that, it's very helpful as well, because then you learn skills that I was able to execute in real life. For example, that pass that I made in turn 3. So, yeah, I think that was a really cool moment that happened.
Memorable. I got you.
I woke up at 1:30 a.m. to catch a flight. I'm completely out of it.
Hey, fair enough. Memorable can be tough to say sometimes anyway. So cool moment sounds much cooler anyhow.
Yeah. So, it was really nice to execute that pass. And get it done.
Yeah, well, now I'm going to have to go back and watch that again, because I kind of remember it, but now I'm just going to have to really take a look, because obviously there was some technique and strategy, and it was a move that put you there and finished you there in that P2, so that's excellent.
Yeah.
But well, hey, as we wrap up, next up for you guys will be number 6 and 7. If I got this right, May 9th through 11th at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So what do you say about... and again, the thing interesting, Evagoras, at this point in the early part of the season, you guys raced it early March, and now you raced this first weekend in April, and you don't go again until the first weekend in May. So there's a lot of break in between those first couple of races as the early season gets underway, yes?
Yeah, that's how our series has... the USF Pro Championships has been like that. We've always had, decently long breaks in between. And, it's good because it gives you a chance to just, relax and de-stress. That's the big thing. Just relax and just take it in and kind of, just reset a little bit, because, with how much stress we're dealing with and, everything that's going on and all the pressure that's on us, it's very nice to get that kind of, just de-stressing moment and just to relax for a little bit. So it's very nice that we have long breaks like that. Gives me a chance to, like I said, reset, continue working hard, and, get prepared for IMS.
Yeah. Well, and in preparation for, IMS, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on, as I said, May 9th through 11th, you'll be there. Anything come top of mind right now for you in terms of the preparation, or is it going to be, and I don't want to say routine, but kind of your standard preparation, working daily and preparing for that?
Yeah, it's gonna be basically routine. Working on the simulator every day, and then also going to the gym as often as I can, and just making sure that I'm at the top of my game, and then also doing not only physical training, but also cognitive training, reaction training, hand-eye coordination, stuff like that, just so I could stay, at my 110% during this break, and I could, so that way I have a better chance of putting in a good result in IMS.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Consistency is the word, and you have shown that for sure through the first 5 races of the 2024 championship season. And I like that word better than routine. So you're going to stay consistent in your preparation and just keep striving and driving for that first win of 2024 and all the wins that'll come after.
Yeah, I'm just going to, stay consistent in my training, and then, because everything I do is consistent, right? From what I work, what I train, what I eat, what I sleep, everything like that. It's just consistency, and then it shows on the track with my consistent results, and that's what I'm all about, and that's what wins championships in the end. So I'm ready to go to IMS to get working again, and yeah.
Perfect. Hey, Evagoras, one last thing, because as we record this, for the people listening, we are recording this on Monday morning, April 8th, which I guess everybody seems to think of as some kind of special day with whatever the sun is doing. I guess we call it Eclipse Day. So I have to ask you this as we wrap it up. So what's your plan for the eclipse today? What are you going to do?
I'm not quite sure. I think I'm just going to, experience this event that everyone's been talking about. Go outside. We did buy the special eclipse glasses.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't. I think the last time I saw one was 2017, I believe. So it's gonna be a really nice memory to see this again.
All right. Well, hey, again, Evagoras, thank you so much for taking the time, to keep us updated on your season and share your racing journey in 2024. Get some rest. Enjoy whatever you can with the eclipse, and we'll talk again. Hopefully, we'll talk again before you head to IMS that first week of May.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Evagoras. Take care.
All right, see you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Thanks again, Evagoras. Be sure to join us throughout the USF 2024 Indy Series racing season as we follow Evagoras to the checkered flag in pursuit of a place on the winner's podium and a driver championship. This has been a sports special presentation of Loveland Beacon Talks. I'm Chuck Gibson saying thanks for listening here on Loveland Beacon. Loveland Beacon Talks is a presentation of Loveland Beacon Digital Media and Gibson Communications, LLC.